All right, we are coming at you live on DentonRadio.com as well as on Facebook with the folks from Denton's Day of the Dead Festival. This interview is being brought to you by the Planner Zone. That is going to be happening tomorrow over at the Gateway Center at UNT. Make sure you check it out. You can go to discoverdenton.com and get all the information on that. It's going to be a great expo and trade show for folks that want to plan events anywhere. But all of the resources available there are from Denton folks, so you can get yourself connected with all of the resources that Denton has to offer. Now let's jump in. Thank you so much for being here, guys.
Thank you for having us.
I have been so looking forward to doing this interview. Me and David set this up a long time ago, and now I've just been chomping at the bit to get you guys in here, so I'm so excited. So go ahead and introduce yourselves. Let's go on down the line.
Okay, so I'm David Pierce, and I am the creator and now director of Denton's Day of the Dead Festival.
Awesome.
I am Belle-Ann Heighton, and I am Executive VP for Denton's Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Perfect.
And I'm Pete Garcia, the president for the Denton Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
Love it. Well, give everybody – okay, I always ask this. And we'll just do this one at a time.
Okay.
If somebody had never heard of the Day of the Dead Festival and you just had 10 seconds to pitch it, what would you say? All right, we'll start with David.
Okay, so 10 seconds. I would say specifically Denton's Day of the Dead Festival would be something that is truly unique, and it would be a combination, a collaboration, coming together of many fall festivals and the wonderful things that fall can bring, whether it be the harvest or Halloween, or more specifically, Dia de los Muertos.
Cool.
I would tell you that it's a lot of fun, and if you want to know, just to get to know Denton and what it's about, and everybody that makes up Denton, who we are, come to the Day of the Dead. You're going to see everybody there.
Love it.
To me, it's celebrating the arts and the culture.
Perfect.
Yes. And there is a lot of color out there, a lot of exciting things that are taking place in the city that incorporates not only just the festival, but other activities that are taking place at the Arts Center.
Love it. Now, and this is an event for everybody, all ages, young and small, new to Denton, been in Denton forever. This is something anybody can enjoy. But give us a little bit of the history of how this festival came together.
Well, okay, so I guess I'll start again. I don't mean to always do that, but I think that originally, it started as from my vision and from my point of view, what Denton was to me was a very eclectic mix, a very big melting pot of artists from all races and ethnicities and all parts of the world that have come together to either study at North Texas, and then a lot of them sticking around, making a very eclectic music scene, art scene in Denton. In my mind, a festival that happens in a place like Denton is that. It's very eclectic and it's very sort of all-encompassing. So my original goal was just to create a very community-based and oriented, very safe and family-focused festival that had all of those elements. And that's why the festival, in my mind, has always been so eclectic. It's always been so all-encompassing because we do this for the community so that people can come and take out what they'd like from that festival, experience it in the way that they'd like to experience it, but go home with a strong sense of comfort and of happiness, seeing what the community can do when it comes together.
Right.
And I love the way everybody gets into it, right? I mean,
Sure.
from where it started to where it is today, just the fact of you see people all painted up and celebrating. You get to see people getting into the coffin races. You see people looking forward to the parade. They, the people that I talk to, I even saw it on nextdoor.com, people saying this is the funnest thing that happens all year.
Cool.
So.
Well, even like last year, remember when it was drizzling, everybody was still out because they were having fun. And that's what it is. It's all about, the excitement. It's the good music. It's the culture. It's the arts coming out and showcasing Denton. I think it's phenomenal. I love the coffin races.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So on that note, let's get a breakdown of the itinerary. What are people going to see when they come and do this thing?
Oh, man, all sorts of things. I mean, it's going to be just like an assault to the senses, I'm sure. You've got your basic festival components, so you'll have vendors and you'll have bands and there'll be arts and crafts and food. You'll see, of course, the coffin races like Pete was just mentioning. I mean, you can't miss that. It's all the way down Hickory Street, thousands and thousands of people lining up, standing, sitting on bleachers, watching these races go from noon till about 4 p.m. You'll see like Bellanne mentioned, all of the color. It's just a very vibrant type of a festival you'll see, whether it's dances or whether it's a mariachi group playing or whether it's just people that come in their own costume and are painted up. It's just there's all of that goes on, and then of course not to forget all of the wonderful things that are happening the day of at the Patterson-Appleton Arts Center, where we've got workshops by Teatro Dallas, and we have very educational things that, of course, the exhibit that has run for the month of October, that's still going to be running the day of, where many people in the community have come together and they have built, their ofrendas, they've built their altars to remember their loved ones that have passed. There's just so many things. Costume contests, a pumpkin patch area for families and for the smaller kids. Denton Theater putting on a haunted house at the Black Box this year. And then a musical that we talked about last week, Cirque du Horror, that will run inside of Dan's as well.
Fantastic.
And have you been to the Appleton Center to see the ofrendas?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
Talk about colorful.
Fantastic.
Yes. And I tell you what, the Tri-County Regional Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, in which that is our parent chamber, because we're a branch chamber of that group, we did an ofrenda there, and it's actually, it's like David had said, it's in remembrance of those that have passed.
Yeah.
And what they loved to do, what their favorite drink was, what the Snickers. I know in ours, I've set out 7 or 8 Snickers bars, and now I only see 3. I was like, oh no! It's like this wasn't meant for people to get a Snickers bar. But it's a very nice. It's very nice to remember those that have passed, and and that's what Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos is it's in remembrance. It's a celebration that takes place on November 2nd, and it's predominantly in Mexico that they do this, and of course some other parts of the other countries that do it. But again, it's in remembrance, and this is all done in good taste. It's a celebration, but then it's also the arts part of it. That's the reason why you go to the Appleton Center to see the ofrendas, and they're phenomenal. There's one that they even did with Luis Gabriel or Juan Gabriel.
Juan Gabriel. He
Juan
just passed
Gabriel.
away.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
he passed away.
And so the group, I guess that was the Muskies, or was it?
Yeah, the Muskies are the ones that put that together.
Together, and they did a phenomenal job.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's like I said, it's very colorful. It's alive. It's culture. It's arts. It's music. It's everything.
So when we say Muskies, do you know what we mean when we say that?
I don't, actually.
Okay, so let me tell you. So there is a town in Mexico called Muskie.
Okay.
And there is a large group of people from Muskie that lives here in Denton.
Denton.
We call them the Muskies. Why wouldn't you, right?
Right.
So anyway, so there's a community here, and they have organized, and they do a lot of participation in city and county events, and they represent themselves as a group from Mexico, and they've tried to become a sister city. For example, their mayor will be in town next week and do some stuff with Chris Watts and stuff like that. So it's a really cool group of people, but they're just it's part of the culture, right? Where they're trying they're living here in the U.S. and they're just maintaining their culture and actually sharing it with us. When we opened the Day of the Dead event at the Patterson Art Center, one of the things that I helped introduce or did the opening, and I said, when you think about Mexico and its history and Texas and the Mexican history that's part of that, we have a united past. So why not have a united present, right? Why not just take it together? And David, I'm so appreciative that you've brought that. You've kind of helped us hammer that home. That gives us a great reason to do that, and I love it because it's very uniting, and that's what we like about the whole aspect about this.
Thanks, Bill. That's nice.
Well, and that is what's so cool is you get to see everybody from all walks of life coming together to do this thing. Because in Denton, everything gets done a little bit different.
Yes.
And
That's for sure.
when we opened up this place, the Discover Denton Welcome Center, we said, okay, we can do a traditional Welcome Center, or we can do it Denton, and we wanted to do it very different. And so what I love is you were able to take this thing that has such rich history, and there's so much culture, just like Denton. But then you've also added these other elements like a coffin race, and and some other things like that, where you're able to bring the whole community together in a fun way that can celebrate something that really has some deep, rich culture and history. And I encourage anybody to go on down to the Patterson-Appleton Art Center and check out the exhibit, see all of the stuff that's going on,
beautiful.
because it's just so well done. You guys have just knocked it out of the park. It's just awesome. Okay, so we've got just a few minutes left, and we got to wrap it up. But if somebody was listening to this, goes, man, I've never gone to this festival. I don't know, is it for me? And you had just a second to tell them why this is the event they just shouldn't miss. Because I've been saying forever. I mean, this is a Denton staple. This is like Holiday Lighting Festival. I mean, this is one of them things it's just part of Denton.
Right.
You got to go do it. Visitor, local, all that. You have to go to this festival. It's just great. But if you only had a few seconds to tell them why they should get off the couch and come do this thing, what would you say to them?
I'll let you guys go first. Since
It's family fun.
Cool.
It's family fun oriented, and it's also educational because of the Appleton Center. Eat, drink, be merry, and then go show the kids about the educational portion, about the ofrendas and all that. So that's what I would say. But I encourage everybody to come out. It's awesome.
I love that there's a place for everyone and anyone, right? You're going to find a place where you're going to go, okay, this is where I belong. And it doesn't matter if it's you with just your friends hanging out or your entire family. So
Love it.
Yeah, and I think it's something that is very only to happen in Denton. I mean, to have a brainstorm of coffin races going down a slope, the hill, the natural slope of Hickory Street. I mean, it's from people that live here that you don't find anywhere else, and that willingness to come together and work to put this on for the community, it's just amazing. It really is.
That's cool. Well, and on that note, the Discover Denton Welcome Center, the Discover Denton team has a coffin this year. So everybody,
All right.
we're coming for you. We are coming for you. All right. Well, this has been so much fun, guys. Thank you guys so much for
Thank you
having
so
us.
much.
This is so cool. All right. This Saturday, it's all going down all day here in downtown Denton. Come check it out. Come be part of the Day of the Dead Festival. You will not regret it. Thanks again so much for being here, guys. We really appreciate it.
thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
You wonder, just a simple